Top line explained the situation. He said his sister's boyfriend used substances and sometimes got violent. Then came the bottom line. That was his confession. He claimed he ended the boyfriend's life by giving him substances without him knowing.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's B in the building. I know I haven't been posting for a little while, but I'm back at it again. And today I'm going to be going over Reddit's most disturbing confessions. And with that being said, before I get right into the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to send me your most craziest or most disturbing confessions yourselves. Send it in the comments or send it on Instagram, and I'm gonna go all over them in my next video. With that being said, I don't like to waste no time, so let's get right into the video. Overseas,
Confessing
baby.
to something serious on the internet sounds like a terrible idea, yet people can't help themselves, and that often backfires. One man confessed to faking his father's death. Another revealed how his company was stealing money from its own employees. And one confession was so unsettling it made readers want to find the person behind it. Today we're diving into Reddit's most disturbing confessions. We'll begin with the strange cases and work our way to the most shocking. So the goal, guys, is 2.5 million subscribers by the end of 2026. So it would mean the world if you subscribe.
Yes, sir. 100%. Make sure to go and like and subscribe to this video. Just search up Reddit's most disturbing confession. Make sure to subscribe to the nigga so he gets to 2.5 mil. That being said, let's continue the video.
And I will do my very best to put out the best videos I possibly can for you. I'm Visual Venture and you are awesome. The meme confession.
Appreciate you.
In April 2013, a Reddit user confessed to taking someone's life. He thought he was safe because no one on Reddit knew his true identity. But people online just had to
that again makes no sense. How are you confessing that you killed someone on Reddit, dog? What are we talking about? Confessing a death, bro, on Reddit? Like, they don't realize you can just check your IP address, check who you are, and you'll just get arrested, bro.
Out who he was. This story began with a meme called The Confession Bear. It showed a bear that looked sad or guilty. The meme followed a two-part structure. The top line described a situation, the bottom line revealed the embarrassing secret behind it.
Usually the confession bear meme just admits to small things like I farted and blamed the dog, or that it actually supports the Mets. Real funny.
In April 2013, a Reddit user named Narado posted his own version, but his confession wasn't funny. It was far darker than anything that came before it. Narado's confession followed the same format as always. The top line explained the situation. He said his sister's boyfriend used substances and sometimes got violent. Then came the bottom line. That was his confession. He claimed he ended the boyfriend's life by giving him substances without him knowing. Authorities ruled it an
That's crazy. That is crazy. Hey, I feel bad for the sister and stuff, but bro, damn. He could have went about this so many other ways, like just calling the police or something instead of this. Yeah, that was not needed.
overdose. He titled the post, "Finally Have the Guts to Say It." The post got a lot of attention, over 10,000 upvotes and 3,000 comments.
Crazy.
Of course, some thought it was just dark humor, but others believed it was real. The comment section turned into a debate. As people argued, Narado jumped in to clarify. He said, "There is some truth behind it, but I'm not saying what was true and what wasn't." Then Narado disappeared again. Now people were convinced.
Okay. So based on that reaction, we can kind of tell he kind of did what he said, and there was probably no lie in that, which is kind of crazy. I don't get why you would post that though.
Did it. And that's when Redditors decided to bring him to justice. Narado's Reddit account did not show his real name, but everything he posted was public. So users went through his old posts and comments. They wanted anything that could reveal his identity.
Because he used his main Reddit account.
Can you, if you actually really want to find out who it is, can you just go on his Reddit and see what email he logged in with or something like that?
Which allowed the internet hive mind to instantly access his personal information, including his date of birth, jobs, location, Facebook, and Twitter information.
Piece by piece, they built a profile. They figured out that Narado was actually 24-year-old Colton Goodbrand from San Diego. Once his name was revealed, the story spread fast. Meanwhile, in San Diego, Colton went online and saw what was happening. People figured out he was behind the confession. His name and face were already being shared on blogs. He tried to control the situation. First, he posted on Reddit saying the confession was just a joke. Soon after, he deleted his Reddit account. But he wasn't done. He sent an angry email to the blog that published his name and face. He threatened legal action if they didn't remove the article, but it was too late for damage control. More blogs published the story. Even worse, Reddit users already sent his information to the FBI. Someone also contacted the San Diego Police Department. Their cold case unit opened an investigation.
Can't they just like investigate this by seeing if the sister's ex actually is dead? Like, there's no need for all of this. You just need to find out who the sister's ex was and if he's still alive. If he's still alive, he's Gucci. If he's dead, he's in a lot of shit.
In the end, police never told the public if the confession was real, but no arrest was made. Later, a journalist reached
Yeah, it
out
was probably not
to
real.
her sister. They asked
I don't
if
think so.
she ever had a boyfriend who passed away in a suspicious way. Her answer was direct. She said, "It's an ill-advised prank. I know no one who has overdosed." This confession may have been debunked, but this next one, unfortunately, was very real. The fake life confession. I've built my life and career on lies and fraud. In February 2024, a post with that title appeared on Reddit. The person behind it was anonymous. Their username was TransportationOK4728, so we'll call him TOK. In his post, he described how he got into a top American college by lying. He even secured a full scholarship. What stood out was his tone. He sounded proud, like he beat the system, but that confidence did not last. By the end, everything
What I don't understand in these like stories, bro, why are you confessing? Dog, like why are you ruining your own life, bro? If you go into like a crazy college, bro, just by lying, like, okay, might as well, like, okay. But I ain't confessing shit, bro. I'm just like living the life that I created, bro. Why is he confessing? I don't understand.
came crashing down. TOK said his life of fraud began in high school in India. He had poor grades because he didn't study. Even so, he wanted to attend an American college. So when it was time to apply, he decided to cheat the system. He forged his transcripts. He changed some grades from 58% to 91%. He created an email and pretended to be his school principal. He even used ChatGPT to write his application essays. TOK applied to several colleges. Most rejected him. But Lehigh University in Pennsylvania offered him a full scholarship. It covered tuition and housing. TOK secured an opportunity he did not deserve, but that wasn't enough for him. The scholarship didn't cover his meals. Meals cost about $5,000 each year. So he told an even bigger lie.
So, he decided to convince the college that he lost his father to cancer.
To make it believable, he created a fake death certificate for his father.
See, that's like, see, first okay, but then now that's just completely immoral. That's kind of crazy. No, that's not
He
the right
claimed
way.
that without his father's income, his family had nothing left. The college believed him. They extended his scholarship to cover meals. In August 2023, TOK arrived in the US to start college, but his lies did not stop. He cheated on almost every exam. When it was time to get an internship after his first year, he made a fake resume. It worked, and he got a paid internship. For almost a year, no one
Bro, my question is, how is that possible? How is it possible to cheat the system to this point? How did he not get caught like the second he arrived or some shit? I don't get that.
suspected anything. Then he went on Reddit to brag about a scam. What happened next made him regret it instantly. Someone who read TOK's post got mad. Very mad. To him, the confession was insulting to students who worked hard. And by taking the scholarship, TOK blocked someone more deserving. So he set out to expose TOK. He noticed something small but important. TOK's Reddit account only followed one university. That university was Lehigh. Then he found an older post showing a building on campus. At that point, the Reddit user took action. He saved screenshots of the confession. Then he sent them directly to the university. About a month later, Lehigh University opened an investigation. The details in the post matched only one student, 19-year-old Aryan Anand. In April 2024, Aryan was arrested.
The 19-year-old was arrested 2 months ago on a string of charges, including felony counts of forgery and theft of services.
He faced up to 20 years in prison, but the case did not go to trial. Instead, a deal was made. Aryan pleaded guilty to forgery. In return, the university dropped the $85,000 he owed them. He was sentenced to time served. After that, he was expelled and deported back to India. His story made headlines. It became an international scandal. Aryan was found because of a university his Reddit account followed and a photo he posted. That was it. And most people have far more.
Bro, he is doing this on purpose, bro. I would have just finished my scholarship and then maybe said it like 10 years later. I don't get why he said that just to ruin himself directly. Like, he got a bit too cocky, I feel like. 100%.
more personal information sitting on the internet. A stranger can search your name up right now and find your phone number and your home address without doing any detective work at all. And this happened to me. A couple years ago, someone found my own information online and used it to threaten me. Then they went after my mom and dad. That was when I realized how vulnerable we really are. I tried to remove my online data myself, but there were hundreds of websites that had it. This is because data broker websites make money by collecting your data and selling it to anyone who pays. It is insane that this is completely legal. But data brokers are also required by law to delete your information if you request it. But trust me, doing it manually for every website is nearly impossible. That's why today's sponsor Aura exists.
Okay,
Aura
I did not
finds
see the
which websites have your
sponsor
data
coming
and
right here.
requests
I did not see
removals
that shit coming.
automatically. After a couple
But
of weeks, you'll get less
we ain't
spam
gonna be
calls,
watching
less
this shit.
junk mail, and your private and a password manager to make
Boom.
BV for a 14-day free trial. That gives Aura enough time to find out if your personal data is already being sold online. This next chapter is about someone who got away with something terrible and waited decades to say anything about it. The hit and run. In July 1996, a mother and
Hit and
child
run is
involved
horrible,
in a
bro. Hit and run is horrible, bro. That's the like worst thing you can do. Run someone over and leave, bro.
and run. The child survived, but the mother didn't. The community was shaken. What made it worse was that the driver was never found. For nearly 30 years, the case remained unsolved. Then in May 2025, an anonymous Reddit user claimed he was the driver. The confession started with a simple question on Reddit. What is the most messed up thing you have ever done? Most people shared minor regrets, but one response stood out. A user said he was involved in a hit and run in California in 1996. A woman and child were affected, but he said he got away scot-free. He even gave a location. It happened at the intersection of Van Owen Street and Louise Avenue. He said he was only confessing because the statute of limitations already passed. That meant he could no longer be charged for the crime. One user decided to check if the story was real. They searched the location and found an article from the LA Times.
That article, along with others from the time, not only confirmed the OP's claims, but also revealed the horrifying details of what actually happened that day.
The article listed victims. They were Ruby Moreno and her daughter. The driver did not stop to help. He even hit another car while escaping. Ruby passed
A real
away.
question though I have though is like, if you do, imagine like you kill someone even by accident, right? Imagine you kill someone. How would you deal with that for the rest of your life? Like, I don't know if I would be able to live with myself after that, even if it was like a complete accident or like not my fault or something, bro. Just the thought of killing someone, bro. I don't know how I would live with that. I don't think I would be able to live with that. Like, I don't know genuinely how I would do it. Like, I'd probably be traumatized for life. And I don't know how, like, yeah.
But her daughter survived. No one was ever arrested. Reddit users were furious, but one detail made them even more upset. The report suggested the driver was probably intoxicated, and that likely caused the crash. People wanted answers, so they asked him directly, "Were you drunk?" As the article says, he admitted that he was. Then the questions became more personal. Users asked how he could live with himself knowing what he did. Some called him stone cold. He defended himself, saying this:
It's been 30 years. That child probably has children of its own. I seem stone cold because I've already been through all the stages of emotions.
The accident actually happened, but parts of his confession didn't match the article that reported the incident. The biggest issue was how he escaped. The Reddit user said he sped away in his car, but the article told a different story. It said the driver drove into a curb, jumped out of the car, and fled on foot. That difference raised doubts.
He maybe stumbled upon the 1996 article online, memorized key details like the year and the street name to make it seem real, and then fabricated the rest of the story.
Just in case, people sent screenshots of the confession to California police. But the status of the case did not change. According to official records, the hit and run is still unsolved. This next person was wanted for murder and actively posted about it online. The murder confession. When someone is accused of a crime, they usually do one of two things. They defend themselves in court or they go on the run. In May 2017, one man did both. He ran from the police, and at the same time, he told this story online. The post was titled "Wanted for Kitchener Murder, My Side." This is
What
the
is
case
that?
that the post was talking about. A woman named Melinda was found lifeless in her apartment in Ontario, Canada. Police opened an investigation. The primary suspect was Melinda's 24-year-old boyfriend. His name was Agar Hassan, but they couldn't find him. He was on the run. Police made a tweet declaring Agar wanted, but by then Agar was far gone. Cameras caught him crossing the border from Canada into the United States. Soon after, cameras picked him up again, this time in Pennsylvania. He was seen taking a license plate from a parked car. Police believed he was heading toward Mexico. They spread his wanted posters across the internet. While on the run, Agar went on Reddit. He wrote a long post telling his side of the story. In the post, Agar admitted to ending his girlfriend's life, but he claimed it was an accident, that he did it in self-defense. He also said he wasn't planning to run forever. He just needed time to process everything before turning himself in. He also shared photos and messages between himself and Melinda. The Reddit post went viral. It seemed like a Hollywood movie. A wanted suspect explaining
that's
his
crazy.
side on Reddit. Police saw the post and called it potential evidence. Soon after, Agar's Reddit account was suspended, but it didn't matter. Screenshots of his confession spread everywhere. Meanwhile, police waited. In his confession, Agar promised to surrender, but he never did. For 2 months,
I got a question though. How many of you guys use Reddit? I don't use Reddit. I don't watch Reddit. I just don't use that shit.
out of sight, but he did not stay quiet. He kept posting online. On Instagram, he shared a photo of himself and Melinda. The caption read, "I regret every negative thing I ever did to you." Then he did something heartless. He sent a message to Melinda's mother, blaming her for the murder. He used a new account and pretended to be a stranger.
Just an outsider looking in. Sorry about what happened to your daughter. However, it seems like this could have been avoided had you not let her stay in the apartment after he broke in the first time. Partially your fault.
Yeah, nah, this guy's crazy. This guy is crazy. What the fuck? No.
At the same time, a separate case was unfolding in Texas. The Secret Service was investigating a counterfeit money operation. Their investigation led them to an address in San Antonio. Officers raided the location and detained several suspects. One of them was Agar Hassan. They found him by chance. He was arrested immediately. In 2018, Agar was extradited to Canada to face trial. Years later, a verdict was reached.
Agar Hassan has been found guilty of second-degree murder in the 2017 killing of his ex-girlfriend Melinda Vasiliev.
He was sentenced to life in prison. The person in our next chapter convinced millions of people that they were being robbed. The whistleblower's confession. In January 2026, a Reddit user accused food delivery apps of scamming customers. He said he knew
that is
he was a
grimy, bro.
software developer at a
For the people who say that like they didn't receive their food or whatever and like get the money back, just so you know, like you could be destroying a whole guy's life, because most people who do delivery usually aren't in the most stable financial situation. And like if you cancel your food, bro, and you say like you didn't receive it when you actually did, the guy might lose his job and lose everything, by the way. I'm just saying, like you got to think about it twice before doing that.
Big delivery company. So he wrote a long post exposing everything. When you place a food order for delivery, you often see extra charges. Each one is supposed to do something different. One is called a priority fee. Paying it is supposed to move your order to the front of the line. That means you get your food faster. Another is called a driver benefit fee. This fee is meant to help support drivers, like helping with healthcare or insurance. But this anonymous person on Reddit claimed it was all a lie. The post was titled, "I'm a developer for a major food delivery app. The priority fee and driver benefit fee go 100% to the company. The driver sees $0 of it." Then he explained how the supposed scam worked. He started with the priority fee. He claimed the app slows down normal orders on purpose. So when you pay for priority, your order is not actually sped up. It just removes the delay the app created.
What you're getting is a delay when you choose the regular option of up to 10 minutes, but there's no delay if you choose the priority order.
In other words, the fee is not for faster service. It is to avoid the delay that was added in the first place. Then he shifted to drivers. He said the food delivery companies take advantage of them. According to him, the app tracks driver behavior. Then it assigns something called a desperation score for each driver.
If a driver usually logs on at 10 p.m. and accepts every garbage $3 order instantly without hesitation, the algo tags them as high desperation.
Once a driver is labeled desperate, the system stops giving them high-paying orders. The logic was simple. If a driver will accept low pay, there is no reason to offer more. So
yeah, see, that's fucked up, bro. That is fucked up.
keeps sending them low-paying orders. Then he moved to tipping. He said the app can predict which customers will tip well. When that happens, the company lowers the base pay for that delivery driver.
The result is that your generosity isn't rewarding the driver, it's subsidizing us. You're paying their wage so we don't have to.
Finally, he explained the driver benefit fee. Most people believe this money goes toward drivers' welfare. The Post claimed it does not.
In reality, that money goes straight to a corporate slush fund used to lobby against driver unions.
The company just keeps all of it. The confession went viral.
That's
it got
so
over
fucked.
87,000 upvotes. Someone shared a screenshot of the confession on X. It got 37 million views. People were angry. One wrote, "I pay the extra for priority on every single order and never tip less than 30% for these apps." So knowing it's not actually helping any of the people really annoys me. People started deleting their food delivery apps in protest. DoorDash and Uber Eats were hit the hardest. It was a serious problem. The companies had to do something to save the situation. The Reddit post didn't mention a specific food delivery app, but many felt the pressure to respond. An Uber Eats official said the claims were completely made up. Then DoorDash spoke up.
DoorDash is lashing out at a viral Reddit post that may or may not be referring to his company.
The CEO said this was not happening at his company. Still, people weren't convinced.
Quite an emotional response for something that has nothing to do with you, am I right?
Drivers also shared.
Yeah, not facts.
said the
No,
claims
she's not
matched
wrong.
what they-
If DoorDash really says something about it, or like any company that actually said anything about this is concerned. Like, yeah, okay, you lost clients, but bro, if you're responding in like a stressed out way, bro, to this like exposing of your company, you're probably part of the people, part of the companies who actually do this. Another thing I don't get is why don't we get any insight from the actual drivers if they get any of the money or not? Like if any of the drivers get the tip, if they get any of the like welfare, if they get any of that stuff, you know. If we get like an insight from a driver, that might clear shit up 100%.
Experienced.
If you asked 1,000 drivers on the street, 995 of them would say, yeah, I experienced that.
At that point, a reporter decided to investigate the story. His name was Casey Newton. Newton reached out to the Reddit user who made the post. He asked for proof that the claims were true. The whistleblower sent a photo of an Uber Eats employee badge. The name was blurred to protect his identity. He also sent an 18-page internal document from Uber Eats.
The Reddit poster gave him what he claimed was an 18-page internal Uber memo, each page marked confidential.
The document supported every claim perfectly, but the reporter was uneasy. Why would a company be dumb enough to write something like this? It would obviously get them into trouble.
It was sort of a cartoon villain's document about how you would exploit a human being to the absolute max.
Facts, why would they write that down? Because like that can get exposed so much faster. Like why didn't someone already expose them for that if it was already written down?
Newton decided to fact check. It turns out the badge itself wasn't real.
I would later learn that it had been generated by AI.
He checked the document too. It was
So it's all AI. It's an AI, bro. AI, we gotta be careful with AI nowadays, bro.
also AI generated. Newton published his findings in an article, debunking the AI food delivery hoax that fooled Reddit. He explained how the entire Reddit confession was false. Shortly after, Reddit moderators removed the post. No one knows who the whistleblower was or why he made a fake confession. Thankfully, the story was proven false. Despite that, many people still believe the claims are true. This next chapter is about a
Yeah, facts, because like even if it was deleted and it was all fake, a lot of people still believe that shit. They saw it and just believed it.
Childhood secret that someone carried for 30 years before finally confessing. The missing person's confession. In 2016, a question appeared on Ask Reddit. To those who have accidentally ended someone, what went wrong? One reply was from a man.
How do you even find that, bro? And how are people actually talking about this in a serious way where they actually did something? I don't understand that.
With a 30-year-old secret. He wanted to come clean about something bad he did as a kid. He began by describing his childhood in Missouri. He and his friends had a secret hangout near a dirt cliff. One afternoon, they went there as usual, but someone was already sitting in their special spot. It was another boy from the neighborhood. He had a learning disability. They told him to leave. He refused. The boy started throwing dirt and stones. The group reacted by chasing him. The boy ran near the edge of the cliff, and then the unthinkable happened. He fell. You can guess what happened. The boys made a pact. They would never talk about it. For years, they kept that promise. But the silence didn't last.
I don't think they killed him though. Right? I don't think they did. Because they chased him and he fell off the cliff. They did not push him off the cliff, right? And I don't think they meant to make him fall off the cliff either, since they were kids and stuff. So I don't think they had that intention. Yeah. No, I don't think they, like, this wouldn't be classified as murder, bro.
Forever. 30 years later, one of the boys shared the story on Reddit. The post got a lot of attention, but one detail made readers suspicious. In the confession, he wrote that his memory gets pretty fuzzy around the moment of the fall, like he wasn't sure how it really happened.
Led many people to believe that maybe him or one of the other boys actually pushed him.
People also questioned how they kept the secret for so long.
Yeah, nah, that makes it way worse though. That makes it way worse. If he got pushed, that changes everything.
If it was an accident, it would be hard to cover up.
I cannot imagine a world where nobody would go home and cry. Like, you'd be crying to your parents about what happened.
Some began to wonder if it was not an accident at all. They wanted to find the person behind the post, then they found a way. They realized the confession included a photo of the general area where the fall occurred. The image showed the cliff, and that gave them a starting point.
Wait, is that the actual cliff? Wait.
They wanted to find the person behind the post, then they found a way. They realized the confession included a photo of the general area where the fall occurred. The image showed...
If this is the actual cliff, I don't think anyone's dying from that. Maybe you hurt yourself pretty badly. I don't think if you fall off of this cliff running, you're not dying. Even if you fall off the second part. Let's say they were running up from like up here and they're running and fell off here and fell deeper. Unless there's like stones on the bottom, I don't think you're dying, bro. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think nothing's happened to you. Like, you'll get hurt, but I don't think you're dying.
The cliff, and that gave them a starting point. Internet detectives got to work. They studied the landscape in the photo. Soon they traced it to St. Charles in
Yeah, it's a real one,
there
yeah.
They searched old missing persons cases in that area. They found a possible match, a boy named Scott Clisholty.
Another thing is, if he was missing, bro, they would have found this nigga. If he was actually missing, like, how is he missing? Because if he was actually like died while falling off the cliff, they would have found his body, right? They would have found his body. So he, like, the case would have been open. So if he's missing, they definitely like did something to his body. Like, they definitely like buried him, put him somewhere. I don't know what happened, but bro, this does not make sense.
He disappeared in June 1988.
30 years ago today, 9-year-old Scotty Clisholty vanished without a trace. He hasn't been seen since, but
according to reports, Scott went into the woods to play. He never came back. Over time, the case went cold. Reddit users believed this case was linked to the Reddit confession. The timing matched, the location matched, the cliff in the photo was only a mile away from where Scott was last seen. They were so certain that they contacted the police.
The person that was finding all this information out actually did report the post to law enforcement in case this could help them solve a missing persons case, but nobody ever heard back.
But investigators weren't convinced. They believed Scott was kidnapped.
The information on the Reddit thread, it was forwarded to law enforcement. However, it seems the police are still going with the abduction theory.
The Reddit confession did not help solve the case. Scott Clisholty is still missing. The post was later deleted. And
so they didn't even look through it. They didn't even look through it, okay.
The behind it was never heard from again. This next confession is about a dark web criminal who never got caught but felt guilt for the rest of his life. The dark web confession. This confession came from a criminal on the dark web, but he wasn't confessing because he felt bad about breaking the law. He was admitting to a mistake that led to multiple people losing their lives. The Reddit post was titled, "I am responsible for the demise of several people." To explain what happened, he started from the beginning. He said he never wanted a corporate job, so he chose a different path. He started selling illegal substances, but meeting buyers in person made him uneasy.
Bro, what? That makes so, like, what? I didn't want a corporate job, so I just went to sell drugs, bro. What are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about, nigga? This shit don't make sense to me.
Afraid of getting arrested, so he moved everything online. He found a marketplace on the dark web and created a vendor profile. Orders started coming in. The business grew fast.
Things were going well, and even upgraded from selling just 3 substances to shipping several much more potent options as well.
He tracked every order using an Excel spreadsheet. Over time, he focused on 2 main substances. Both were powders. They looked the same, but they were very different. One was less harmful. The other was extremely dangerous, especially if too much was taken. The vendor handled everything himself. He checked orders, packed them, and shipped them out. The process wasn't perfect though, and one day, it failed. While packing orders, he mixed up the 2 identical substances. He sent the wrong product to the wrong people. What happened next was tragic. He didn't realize the mistake for some time. He kept running his business like normal. Then a message appeared in his inbox. A customer complained that their friend passed away after using the product. That's when the vendor checked his supply and realized the mix-up. As time passed, he learned the full impact.
That's crazy.
4 buyers who received the wrong package passed away. He said he was overwhelmed with guilt, so he shut down his dark web store immediately. After that, he got a job at a restaurant. He said he never sold substances again, but the guilt stayed with him. After reading his confession, many users responded. Most showed support. They gave advice, showed sympathy, and told him to seek therapy. The confession is still online as of today. These confessions didn't destroy people's lives. Their choices did. The confession was just the moment the world found out. So my friends, make the right decisions even when no one is looking.
Nah, facts, bro.
Visual Venture.
Let's talk about that last confession though. That's like low-key insane. Bro, already it's very immoral to sell drugs, right? But like, bro, finding out you killed people when that's not what you wanted to do is low-key very like, damn. Anyways, with that being said, make sure to like, subscribe. Yeah, I'm gonna react to another video, make another video. With that being said, just to like, subscribe, and make sure to go follow Visual Venture on YouTube. And yeah, I'm out of here.